Yo, what's going on, guys? Back at it with another Monday Night Slate video. So tonight, I'm really excited for this game. But first, before we move on to this game, just do a review on yesterday's slate. As you saw, the 1 o'clock games went great. We had a great performance from Christian Kirk. Put up, I think, 53 fantasy points or 40 fantasy points in Draftkings. And then Marquise Brown added a nice touchdown. I think he got like 19 or something like that, or 18. And it was a really, really great start. Then the 4 o'clock games hit. Fitzmagic did okay. Nothing spectacular though. It was good for the value of him. I do think getting him at the price that we did, I think that was a really good pick for us. I mean, he got 14 points, so I mean, not huge, but considering he was pretty low ownership and he got 14 points, isn't too bad. Christian McCaffrey had a decent day. Picked it up with that nice touchdown in the second half. He had 30. Singletary, bit of a disappointment. That was the only, I think, 1 o'clock game that really had a bad performer. Because Singletary, it seemed like it shifted more to a 50-50 share between him and Gore, which is kind of surprising considering what happened last week. And I think, honestly, it was because his ownership shot up to 20%. I didn't know it was going to be that high, to be honest with you. But only scoring 8 kind of hurt us in the slate. And then if you saw my tweet, I was very, very upset about Cooper Kupp yesterday. Obviously not on him. Jared Goff's got to get him the ball. He had a season low 4 targets yesterday. Now you got to hand it to the Steelers. They did do a really good job on him, but Goff just, it really made me mad, man. Like I said in the video, in the Sunday slate video, he's Mr. Dependable. So I guess I kind of jinxed it in that way. Because he didn't get a single catch, so that kind of screwed us, guys. I apologize to that one. I don't know if I could blame myself on that one. I think that's just really good game planning by the Steelers and really bad execution by Jared Goff getting it to Kupp. The few times he did try to get it to Kupp was pretty covered, so I'm not really sure. I think he was taking a part of Sam Darnold's playbook and seeing ghosts. But anyway, Herndon, bit of a disappointment yesterday. I think he actually got hurt. He broke his rib yesterday. That sucks. So there goes that value. He would have been on my next Sunday slate, but looks like he's going to be out for a couple weeks. So 1 catch for 7 yards, or 1 catch for 8 yards, whatever he had. Not great. And then Jamison Crowder had a really nice game, 19 points. So he was pretty low owned too, only 7%. So that was a pretty good hit for us. As far as it goes with cashing, I didn't cash. I don't assume you guys cash because of Cooper Kupp having no catches. But you know what? Those kind of things happen, I guess, and you just got to bounce back. And we're gonna do that tonight with a Let's Get This Money. I want to get that hashtag trending on Twitter. I think it's a really good one. But looking in tonight's slate, so really, really exciting game tonight. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. I do think Seattle is going to win. If you guys have any game predictions, definitely put them down below. Let me know why you think so, whether you agree or disagree with me, and I'd love to have a conversation with you guys in the comments about it. I think it's going to be a really good game, though. So tonight's slate, this is kind of a personal one for me because in my regular fantasy league, I need Tyler Lockett and Tevin Coleman to not do anything in terms of doing really well if they combine for 17.5 or more points. I either tie or lose. So really hoping they don't do much. So I kind of made that made this lineup based off of that. Also, though, I do have a couple good feelings about tonight. So I think this is going to be the week that Seattle's pass rush finally starts getting there. I think they've struggled in the past couple weeks. They're starting to get the guys back. Jaron Reed returned last week. He looked really good. Clowney obviously has been there all year. I think this D-line is going to get after Garoppolo tonight, which is one of the reasons I'm fading him. A lot of people might play him just because he's a quarterback, but I don't really trust him tonight going against Seattle. I think their pass rush is going to get there. They don't have a great secondary, so it's going to be all up on that pass rush, and I think that pass rush is finally going to get there tonight. Jimmy G does not have George Kittle tonight, so that's going to be an interesting one. I'll get into that later when I talk about one of my selections. But MVP, I went with the current running MVP, Russell Wilson. I think as of right now, if the season ended today, him and Lamar Jackson would be kind of tight with MVP, but I think Wilson has it still. Interestingly, going against the best the best defense against quarterbacks tonight, I don't think that'll slow Wilson down. He's been hot as heck lately, which is one of the reasons I'm a little worried about Lockett tonight. He could have some big numbers again, but I do like Richard Sherman on Lockett, so that's kind of one of the reasons I actually did decide to fade Lockett, not only just personally, but Sherman will follow Lockett all around the field. While Lockett does have the speed for sure, I think Richard Sherman's going to do a really good job on him tonight. Not saying Tyler Lockett won't get catches. If you have enough salary and you want to slip him in as one of your flex guys, go for it. Just personally, I'm not going to, just because of that matchup with Sherman and also the personal one. So instead of having Tyler Lockett, I'm going to put DK Metcalf in. I think he'll have a nice long touchdown tonight. He's been pretty good at getting those lately. I think he's really starting to get comfortable with the offense. He's been getting more snaps, obviously. And I think he's just looked a lot better in the last couple weeks, running not just deep routes, but intermediate routes as well. So I think he'll have a pretty good night tonight. Obviously, you want to track Sherman because Sherman will be on Lockett the whole night. So I really like this DK Metcalf play tonight. And then coming off his best game as a Seattle Seahawk, Jacob Hollister had 2 touchdowns last week. I think this is going to be another good game for him. I think this lines up well, though San Francisco is first in the league against tight ends. So he is a risky play, but I do like the chemistry he's building with Russell Wilson. And I think if Wilson does have to go to someone else besides Lockett tonight because Sherman's blanketing Lockett, I think Hollister's a really good bet to be another pass catcher outside of DK Metcalf. I keep saying DJ, I don't know why. DK Metcalf. So Hollister definitely could be a really nice play today. I'm actually doing this off Fanduel today, so if any of you guys are wondering how I am going to fit everyone in, I'm actually doing this off Fanduel, but I'm pretty sure you could also fit this off Draftkings because there's a pretty good amount of salary that's still remaining on my lineup. So going in, next guy, this is what I was touching on earlier with Kittle being out. Ross Dwelly is going to be one of my flex plays tonight. I do like him because the Seattle defense is not great against tight ends. I believe they're 28th in the league against tight ends. Yep. So Dwelly actually did a decent job last week, even with Kittle playing. I know it was against Arizona. It was also very bad against tight ends, but Seattle wasn't great with him either. So I do think this presents a good opportunity for Dwelly tonight to get in the end zone possibly. If not, I think he'll have a good amount of catches. I think he'll have around George Kittle numbers. Obviously, you can't bet on that because obviously George Kittle is one of the top 3 tight ends in the league. But I do like Dwelly. He looked really good last week, caught all 4 of his targets for 29 yards, and that was with Kittle being in the game. So I really like Dwelly tonight going into Seahawks. I think that's going to be the only offense the Niners really get because my last guy is going to be Chris Carson. He's been a beast this year. He's been getting fed the ball a lot, and I think he's going to eventually tire down the San Francisco defense, and I think that's going to take their pass rushers out of it. I really like Chris Carson tonight, not only for his running value, but his receiving value as well. He does a really good job at pass catching outside on swings. He can get down the field. I really like Chris Carson and his point value tonight. Some people might actually be putting him at MVP. I don't blame you. That's a good pick. I think he could get involved pretty good. So I'll talk about a couple guys I actually left off because I know you guys are probably wondering why. So I left off Coleman. Like I said, I think Seattle's really going to do their best to shut down San Francisco tonight. And I don't think Tevin Coleman is going to get it going. He's pretty much gone back to sharing 50-50 with Matt Breida. So if you want to choose one of them, you probably are going to have to go with both of them because they've been getting pretty equal carries. I know Breida was a lot more effective last week, and then Tevin was more effective the week before. So it's going to be really interesting to see exactly how they do it tonight, which is why I'm kind of leaving them off my slate because I want to know that, when I put someone in my lineup, they're going to get, a fair share of the targets, or a fair share amount of snaps, whatever it may be. So that's why I left those guys off. If you want to play them, I don't blame you because they are a very run-heavy team. So if Seattle can't stop it, they'll be good plays. But personally, I'm going to leave him out tonight just because I think this is the night that Seattle's defense finally clamps down and shuts down the Niners. And then another guy left off, Emmanuel Sanders, who had a really great game last week against the Cardinals. Again, it was against the Cardinals, so I'm not really too high on him yet. I don't love Jimmy G's ability to throw it down the field, which is kind of what you have to do with Sanders. He's okay with intermediate routes. He'll get like a decent amount of 20-yard catches throughout the season, but he's really a downfield threat, and I think that's kind of why he doesn't really fit as well in San Francisco as some people might think. As I said, though, last week he had a great game, so I could see why you put him in. Seattle's not that great against the pass, so I could see why, but I'm leaving him out just because I think Seattle's defense is going to do really well tonight. And that's about it. I wouldn't play either defense tonight if you're on DraftKings. Definitely avoid that because I think this will be a pretty interesting game. I did say I do think Seattle's defense is going to do well, but I'm not that confident that I would put them in my lineup tonight because the thing with defenses is unless they get a defensive touchdown, they're probably not going to score you too many points. And one playmaker that can score a touchdown, that instantly outscores the defense. So I really like this lineup tonight. I know there's a lot of budget left for Fanduel, so if you're playing Fanduel and you want to bump up DK Metcalf to like a Tyler Lockett or whatever, I could see why you do that. But this is the lineup I'm running with. So Wilson at MVP. We got Metcalf, Hollister, Dwelly, and Carson. And I really like this lineup. I think it's going to be a really fun game, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely be sure to let me know if you tail the lineup, like and subscribe for some more stuff. I will be getting back to NBA starting tomorrow. I've just been busy with NFL and work, so I will be getting back to NBA tomorrow. So definitely be watching out for a video from that. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be giving updates throughout the Monday Night Football game, voicing my displeasures as I did yesterday with Cup, or just really boasting about someone having a great game. So definitely be sure to follow me on Twitter at Fantasy Talk Show. I'll put the link again in the description, as I have been. It hasn't been a ton of views on my channel lately, so you guys that are watching, again, you're getting a lineup that's not going to be run by many people exactly. So I think this is a really good battle tonight, and I'm really excited for it. So let's get this money.